Now, Rwanda observed the 18th anniversary of the country's 1994 genocide on Saturday. President Paul Kagame lit a flame of remembrance at the memorial that will burn for 100 days, marking the length of the time during which the victims, mostly Tutsis and moderate Hutus, lost their lives. Some 800,000 people were killed during the massacres. Joining us today to reflect on that dark period in Rwandan history is Egide Karuranga, a genocide survivor and a professor at Laval University in Canada. Professor Karuranga, welcome to In Focus.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yes, and first I have to make note of the fact that actually you survived the genocide inside the Hotel Mille Collines, which has become famous through the Hotel Rwanda movie. Give us a sense of the experience you had there, just a little bit.
Experience inside the hotel? Or
inside the hotel, just how you got in there and how those days,
When genocide started in 1994, I was living in the center city of Kigali, near the former president's office with his guard. So you may imagine how dangerous it was, because those guys were roaming around killing, and the systematic killings started very early, the same time the plane crashed.
Yes.
People started the dirty job. And I was living near the presidential guard, so it was not a safe place. So later on I decided that I had a business and people came to loot it. And the owner of the hotel in which I was renting a showroom called me and said, people are looking for you because they got what they wanted from your shop. Now they are looking after you. So he advised me to go to Mille Collines because he had heard that other refugees, other Tutsi were moving to that hotel,
yes,
which was supposed to be a safe haven, given the fact that there were some UN soldiers and expatriates leaving for Europe.
Yeah. So for how long were you in the hotel? This now called Hotel Rwanda?
The entire period I left. I was one of the people who left in the third convoy, because we had 3 convoys.
That's about what, 90 days?
And that's about 90 days.
About 90 days. That's what's quite a harrowing experience. Now, the events of commemoration that took place also here in Washington, D.C., kind of were in 2 parts. You had an event at Georgetown University where there were conversations. It was like a conference. Can you give us an idea of what was really discussed beyond just the emotional kind of journey through the last 18 years?
Yeah, we used to commemorate genocide based on specific themes, specific topics. This year's themes is let's learn from the past in order to shape a bright future. So we were discussing on Saturday topics around that spirit of learning from the past and shaping a bright future. So we had topics like the history of Rwanda.
Yes.
We had a kind of testimonies, intergenerational testimonies. How did it start?
Yes.
Because people often forget that those things started in 1959. People often forget that the genocide was a planned event.
Yeah.
People often forget, yeah.
And that's talking about it being a planned event. We have very little time. Just give us a sense of, there are those who actually say there was no genocide in Rwanda. What do you say? Why do they say this? What's the basis, and what's the significance of that?
That's actually one of the topics we are addressing, the denial. So genocide is, if you look at the step models, it's a kind of 8 stages. And the last stage is denial. You start preparing with all the steps before, and you commit genocide. And after genocide, you deny. But denial starts also in the early stages. When people are killing, they hide the killings. When people are committing genocide, their acts they hide. And after genocide, they even hide more facts. And there are so many categories, there are classifications. There are those who are denying by ignorance. There are those who are denying by opportunity. There's those who are denying for self-promotion. There are people who are denying because they are killers, because they are perpetrators. Yes. So we have all those classes, all those categories. And one of the things we do is, let's address it based on categories and motivations of those who are denying. And one of the main arguments people use is minimizing the sufferings, minimizing the number of victims, denying the witness the right to testify, denying the witness the access to courts, denying the evidence to be shown.
Yeah.
So,
well, Thank you very much. Looks like it was such an emotional and also meaningful anniversary, at least here in Washington, D.C. Also, we hope to have you another time here, Karuranga, Professor Karuranga. So we do appreciate your unique perspective. That's Egide Karuranga, also a genocide survivor and professor at Laval University in Canada. Thanks a lot for joining us today here on In Focus.